But, you know, this guy right here, Michael, he played for me from the time he was a seventh grader, actually. I was digging through a bunch of papers today just to see if I had missed anything. And I ran across a picture of his band team. He was the skinniest little fart you ever saw in your life. But here's the really cool thing about it. We won, it was a very short season. We won 10 games, lost 1, tied 3. Michael was the second leading scorer on that team. It says a lot for a seventh grader playing with eighth and ninth graders, I thought. Then, of course, I suppose, Mike, you know, most people don't move up to the varsity when they're in eighth grade. But, you know, we ended up in a situation where I had 2 defensemen who were heading off to, you know, somewhere up there to play a couple teams up there. I didn't have any defensemen. Rick Otto looked at me and he said, I think we had to bring up those 2 eighth graders. So we brought up Mike and we brought up Jeff Norby at that time with the idea that we knew their career as a band was over. Paul Frank, the band coach, I don't think he talked to me for a year and a half afterwards. That was all right. I think if you take a look at all of the stats with Mike, this guy was phenomenal. And that went, you know, that 104 assists, actually to me plays bigger than his 100 goals. There were times that we, well, okay, I don't know how many Fargo Salt people we got sitting in here, but we beat them 8-1 one year. And Michael, I think, scored 2 goals and got 4 assists in that game or something like that. And it was all based on long passes, because we had worked all week on creating a breakout that where we'd have to make a long pass. I don't think we missed one all night. It was great. The other thing, as we went along, the one thing that you notice with Mike was that Mike was just a fantastic teammate. You know, he didn't ever come off the rink and complain about anybody. He didn't come off the rink, you know, and get upset about, you know, these things that you could get upset about. He just played the game. He was never the biggest guy in the world, you know, probably 160 pounds maybe. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be on the other end when he can fly into the corner. Because this guy could hit. And he could hit with a 200 pounders. And this was fun to watch. When he was playing at North Dakota, we would go to several of his games, and I remember going into the corner, all I could see was number 23 flying into the corner. And I thought to myself, oh, come on, Mike, you want to play another game, don't you? But, you know, he just handled himself very well. A couple things, you know, he made reference in this article in the paper about some of his teammates. And the 72, 73, you know, team that Michael played on, you know, they just had a tremendous chemistry, this whole group. And I see there's a few of them sitting out here besides Mike that played on that team, and they know what I'm talking about. They got along. This was an excellent group of players. I will mention the football thing only because I was one of the football coaches. I guess I did that forever too. I remember Jim Buckles came to me one night. We were sitting talking, and Jim says, "You're going to have a lot of fun next year." I said, "Really? Why?" He said, "I got some pretty good players on the 9th grade team." He said, "They're going to move to the 10th grade." I laughed because I said, "Well, I know Neitzke won't be with me." I saw him play a couple of times, score about 4 touchdowns or something. I said, "I know where he's at. It's going to be with the varsity. It's going to be like Cheska over here, moving out very quickly, you know." But anyway, he was extremely talented on the football field too. Again, just tough, you know. He liked to hit, and it showed almost right away. And he had a lot of support. I'm looking at this Neitzke group over here, and you know, this is a family that truly is a family that supported Mike and Steve and Gray and Bart and Devin, you know, right up and down the line, whatever they were doing. So, Michael, you're like a son to me, and I do truly appreciate all of the things that you accomplished, and you are definitely one of the Lakers that need to be in the Hall of Honor.
First of all, I'd just like to thank the DLFA Foundation for being chosen to receive this award. It's extremely humbling, and I appreciate being part of this group that's up here today, along with the very special 2008 and 2010 winners. It's extremely overwhelming, and one thing that John neglected to tell you was that I was not a member of the debate team, and I didn't do very well in speech in school. So I'm going to do my best to just get through a few highlights of my career and what I would like to leave you with. John was right about one thing. I'm not very big. Probably 5'9", probably played at North Dakota at 170. In 8th grade, when I got pulled up, I was probably about 140, and probably about 5'6" or something. But what I learned about competing, I guess, when I was young, down at the senior high school, playing outdoor hockey with guys a lot bigger than myself, was that you can get to where you want to go a couple of different ways, and it's not always the easiest to get there, but if you try your resources and try enough times, get knocked down enough times, get up enough times, and seek a goal, you can find a way to make it there. And I guess that's always been the foremost thing on my mind, was to set a goal and to get to there. And Jake's right, I like to hit, because if you're not hitting, you're getting hit. And if you're not the biggest dog in the fight, you better have the biggest fight in the dog. So that's kind of what I had to go with. And my brothers taught me that well, and I had mentors that helped me along the way. And it wasn't just hockey either. It was JC football at Washington under the lights with Coach Buckles, teaching us how to block and tackle and how to hit. And baseball, T-ball down at the rec center, and then minor league and little league, and finally Babe Ruth, and high school ball, and a little bit of Legion baseball too in the summertime. A couple things you don't know: I bowled, I skied, I competed a little bit in skiing in a JC tournament, and I played tennis too. I guess I just like to compete, and I found that I was not a bad, that I showed up and didn't do bad at most of the things that I tried. And so I just felt like I needed that as a release and as an athlete, watching on the sidelines the Lakers out there on the field, and whether it was hockey, standing in the snowbanks down at the high school before we got our indoor rink, thanks to Ken Freeman, amongst others, and putting artificial ice in that, and watching high school football games on the sidelines again, wanting to be a Laker. I really wanted to compete and take see where my career could go. And watching the Lakers and having those athletes, many of who are on the walls here tonight, and some that I know and most that I don't. But those were the stories that you read in the paper by Ralph Anderson, what athletes were excelling, whose records they were trying to break. And I guess there was just a big part of me that wanted to be in that group of people, that group of athletes who wanted to compete and take and just see how far I could take my career, I guess. I didn't think I'd be up here this long, and I'm almost done. But I just will kind of end by telling you that tonight's really special. It's possible for 3 reasons, and the biggest reasons are, you know, my family down here, and the coaches that I had along the way, and you know, my teammates. They're all team sports that I played. Yeah, I did some track, and that was great, and everything. It was really a better way to get in shape for football. Kostelecki was the football coach, and Kostelecki was the track coach. And when he suggested to me that I should really come out for track to get ready for football, there weren't a lot of arguments that I could come up with right offhand to try to dissuade him for that, even though I love playing baseball. It was a political move that worked out very well for me. And the teammates that I had a chance to play with were unbelievable. You create bonds when you're in high school with other students, with other athletes, and certainly the bond between 8th grade and my senior year, the bonds and friendships that I was able to foster are still with me today, and that's really very cool. And so are the coaches that led me and mentored me. And this goes outside to the high school, to Holmes Junior High rink. Dale Matson, you might know him. He's a crazy barber in town that seems to like hockey a little bit. And Coach Buckles over here that used to coach us outside when I was in JC football. And then there's guys that I don't even think are around here anymore, like Coach Crawford and Coach Sletmon, that mentored me in junior high, and Coach Ray Long, I know he's here, in 9th grade football. Dave Eidenschik, who mentored me in baseball and was a coach of mine in baseball, who had to take me for a long car ride around probably 14 to the 412 Lakes area, and kind of explained to me why we lost a baseball game and what, in the grand scheme of life, it really meant. And I guess when you're a competitor, you don't like to lose, but there certainly are a lot of things that you can learn from losing and benefit from losing. And I didn't want to come face to face with a lot of those. A few every now and then were enough, but it's part of life, and being an athlete and being a Laker has really prepared me and made me ready to take on the challenges in the business world and other events that have taken place in my life just as a man. So with that, I will leave you. I want to thank these people that I just highlighted. They helped me get ready to go to the University of North Dakota and have a career with Fighting Sioux. To win a national championship up there was extremely special. Those athletes that I played with will be my friends until I die, and athletics just does that. And you people out here are very special because you're here and you know that and you get it. Thank you very much.